Hi, Peter here with rgbfilter, and we're here with Elias Toufexis, most recently the star of Deus Ex Human Revolution. Elias, you play the voice of Adam Jensen, the lead in the game. First off, how did you get involved with the project in the first place? How did you end up taking that role?
It was a simple process of auditioning. I mean, I had done a bunch of video games at that point, and a bunch of television and some cartoons and stuff, and then my agent managed to wrangle me an audition for the role, and then it was a couple of auditions, a couple of meetings, and then I ended up booking the job. That simple.
How did you feel about this role going in? Was this something that you were excited about, or did you know much about the game?
It's funny when you audition for video games, they don't tell you what it is, right? Because there's all these non-disclosure agreements you have to sign and things like that. So I didn't know what it was. I didn't know who Adam Jensen was. He was a new character, obviously, and they didn't tell me it was Deus Ex because I knew what that was. And then when I got the role, they basically filled me in and said, okay, it's a prequel to this game called Deus Ex. I'm like, I know what that game is. I hadn't played it in a long time. And I went back and played it, and I remembered how much I liked it. I liked games like that back in the day, like Deus Ex and Wing Commander, and games that gave you choice that made it feel like a film. Malcolm McDowell's here somewhere from Wing Commander. I should go get him to sign my copy. So when I found out what it was, I was really excited.
That must be really cool to end up working on a project. It's like, wow, this is more than I expected it to be.
Yeah, especially with this game. I mean, I thought it was going to be like most games you do. You got 2-3 months of work. This was 4 years, basically. It wasn't every day, of course, but it was 4 years of 2-3 times a month, and then I think it was finished. I remember a couple of times we actually had champagne. We're like, we're done, and then 2 months later, it's like, you know what? We added a side quest, so. We're doing this now. I'm like, okay, there's another few days of work.
And I mean, I haven't managed to finish the game yet, not for a lack of trying, because goddamn, that thing is big. My experience of the game so far has been that the conversations they're pretty complicated, involved, very dynamic. There's a lot of dialogue going on there.
Yeah.
Was it more difficult than other projects you've done because of that?
Oh, definitely. And it's harder to play a character that doesn't really have an arc, because the arc is up to the player. I mean, there's a general arc that Adam goes through, but basically the choices he makes are up to you, right? Not up to the writers. So I had to kind of justify everything I did, which got tricky, because there were things that I thought, well, Adam would never do this, but I still had to record it and put my whole support behind it. For example, I'll give you an example. At the beginning of the game, when you talk to Megan's mother, she says, I want you to go find out about Megan's, about what happened, the truth behind what happened. And one of the options to pick is, are you going to give me any money for this? I was like, I would never say that. Adam would never, I don't know if Adam would ever do that, but I had to support it because the player could choose it. That's a good example of that.
So it feels like you have your version of the character almost in your head. It's like there's a way you would want to play the game.
Yeah, there's definitely, when I recorded it, I definitely thought, okay, every time we recorded different branches of what would happen, I definitely said, this is the one I would definitely choose. And I bet you I'm playing it now, I don't remember, but I bet you I'm playing it and I'm doing exactly what I thought in the booth. Like, I would choose this or I would choose that. We'll see how it ends up.
What was it like getting to grips with the character in general? How much time did they give you to prepare for this? The universe, the material, the background. What did you get? What did you get to work with, just in terms of trying to get a handle on this character in general as a character?
Well, they didn't. They gave me kind of a book, but the Bible of what they were doing. But it was more design than anything at first. And the audio director and the voice director and the writer had ideas of what they wanted to do, and we got to talk. But most of my stuff came from playing the original games, learning about the world, watching their influences. Like, it's obvious they're influenced by Blade Runner and Ghost in the Shell and things like that. And I'm a big Blade Runner fan and Ghost in the Shell, so I rewatched those, kind of got that feel for it. But again, it's over 4 years, right? So I'm sure there's points in the game where I'm like, I wasn't really in the headspace of Adam at that point. I haven't found one yet, but we'll see, maybe.
It's interesting you mentioned this 4-year development process, and it was, everyone saw this game was around for a long time, and obviously the finished result is absolutely amazing. It's incredibly well polished. It's interesting, getting to that state of polish. Did it seem like the game that they came out with at the end was the game that they came in to make, or did it feel like a lot of stuff got changed along the way?
You know what? There are some things that got changed that I know about, but for like story-wise, but that's all I know about. If in terms of the graphics or the game engine or things like that, I don't know what they did and what they changed. I never played the beta version. I saw 10 minutes of the game a few months ago, and this one looks more polished, you know. But story-wise, they kept adding side quests and little things, you know, that they thought would add to some of the characters and things like that. But nothing too huge. I think they had their story from the beginning.
Did it feel like anything got kind of cut out, or was there anything that got left on the cutting room floor that it seemed to you, or any big sort of removals, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when I go through the game and I've finished it and I've gone through every side quest, and maybe something will pop in my head but honestly, man, I was playing it just yesterday and I was going through it and I was thinking, I don't remember recording any of this. You know, I must have done this 3 years ago. And then every now and again something will pop up and I'll be like, I remember that scene.
Did you did you get to interact a lot with the other voice actors? Was it mostly just on their own, or?
No, for the most part, especially with when I had lines like with Megan or with Pritchard or with Sarah, the scene work, they brought the actors in to work with me, which really helps.
Yeah. And those, particularly there's a lot of big conversation scenes between Jensen and Sarah.
Yeah.
That, you know, I mean, those are big, difficult, complicated conversations, and it really felt like there was a strong dynamic between those two characters.
That's what we were going for, because they had, you know, he was as close as we are, you know, and we just do the scene like regular actors would. You know.
Is that unusual from your experience of working with video games?
For the most part, in video games and cartoons, they kind of record them separately, but this game was so reliant on story and character that I think they wanted to make sure that we, you know, I as an actor, I like it better. I like it much better than working.
It certainly felt to me like it really added, you know, the scenes felt stronger and the connection between the actors felt stronger. It wasn't that kind of disconnect, you know, a lot of games where it's like two guys just uttering lines into a blank wall.
Good.
I mean, it certainly worked. Do you feel like you want to do more video game work? Are you more interested in trying to get into more TV roles? Obviously, you had roles on things like Lost Girl and Smallville, Supernatural. You know,
I don't have a preference really. At this point, it's just, you know, I just want to pay bills, so I keep working. As long as I keep working, I'm good. I've done a whole bunch of TV shows. I'm going to shoot a movie Tuesday, you know, so all stuff like that. I'm fine, but I like video game work. You know what it is? I like character. I don't care if it's video game, if it's a cartoon, if it's a good character, I'm happy. If it's a bad character, I don't care if it's in a huge movie. I won't enjoy playing it.
That, yeah, absolutely makes sense to me. That's, you know, it's what it always seems to me like that's what gives the best performances. Is someone who's going in there because they want to, you know, see this person's story.
Character, yeah.
You mentioned a movie. What's anything you can tell us? Nothing you say? No. Well, I wish you the best of luck. It's a fantastic game. Your performance in it was brilliant, right from the first few lines. You know, I was absolutely loving the work that you guys did. So, congratulations on that. It really well. I really hope to see the next stuff you do. You know, best of luck with your future projects.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for talking to us.